A few explorers, the grenadiers divers, 4 charlotte strikers. Somebody celebrate your team. Last Soufriere hikers, the Salpan breakers, Botanic Garden Rangers. It's from the bleachers we would see. VPL is more flavor, more vibes. VPL that bring the stadium alive. VPL, this is the joy of we life. It's the Vincy Premier League.
Well, we are at the place where we have been anticipating all tournament long, the finals. It's a matchup, and if you're watching, it is live, it is not a replica, it is not a repeat, but it is a live action between the last Soufriere hikers and the Salpan breakers. They were the finalists in the version of the first version of the VPL, and they are here to battle again. It's a hot day here for cricket. We still have our battery of commentators with us. We have Alanson, we have Romel, we have Roxel. They will be joining us later. And boy, Alanson is here with us. Alanson, we are anticipating great cricket today.
Yes, we are looking at the final. We're hoping for a very keen contest, and that it goes all the way down to the final ball. And that will be an amazing vista for everyone who will say, and a great spectacle for the VPL, and to end on a high note in this edition 2.0.
It will be a stage where you have nothing to lose than a first or second position. Romel, you have joined us. The last Soufriere hikers, they would not want to be in the second position again for a second time.
Well, first of all, good afternoon to you, Kasnel. Good afternoon to you, Cruikshank. And of course, good afternoon to all those who are watching this VPL 2.0, Dream 11 VPL 2.0. Yeah, a nice repeat of the first edition of the finals. Salpan breakers, hikers. Having chatted with several of the players off the field from the last Soufriere hikers, they're eager to go. As you said, they really don't want a repeat of the finals last year. They're a much more confident group, I gather. They started off a little bit shakily, but they eventually gathered momentum, and they're going into this finals on a winning note. So they should be confident. The Salpan breakers as well. I had a chat as well with Captain Sunil Ambris. He has always been a confident fellow. He said to me that no team can beat him, and the way he said it, and I don't want to say he was arrogant, but rather confident. I know he's going to play cricket hard. He's going to do or die. So yeah, I'm looking forward to these finals. Potentially a bomber, as we call it here.
I'm eagerly anticipating to get ball, get bounce, get everything out of that track. And Roxel was down on the ground, and he caught up with Hodge and Dylan in an earlier interview.
Second team in the championship match this afternoon on VPL 2.0, the final day 15, are the last Soufriere hikers. We have Kavim Hodge and Dylan Douglas. And Kavim, we're going to start with you. An opportunity for last Soufriere hikers to undo what was not done in edition 1 just a couple months ago, to go the extra mile. Are the last Soufriere hikers ready for that challenge?
Yes, most definitely. We've worked pretty hard over the past couple of weeks. I've heard a lot about this team coming into St. Vincent, and I must say I'm surprised at the level of cricket that we're playing here. The important thing I always stress in the team meetings is for us to pay attention to details, and everybody play their role, do the small things right, and I have no doubt that we'll come out on top at the end.
Well, you heard about this team, as you said, prior to coming to St. Vincent. I'm sure you heard about the young talent. You have had the opportunity of playing alongside some of that young talent. Do you think that St. Vincent Grenadiers cricket is in good hands?
Oh, definitely. Like I said, I'm really surprised as to the level of cricket and the competitiveness. If these guys keep it up and keep working hard, putting in the effort, then St. Vincent cricket is a force to reckon with in a year's time.
Kavim, thank you. Dylan, Kavim spoke of the young players that he has the opportunity, or has had the opportunity to play amongst. What would your advice be to some of the other young ones who are looking on and hoping to be part and parcel of the next edition, VPL 3.0?
Well, as Kavim said, let them continue to train hard, work hard. You never know what will happen in the future, in the near future.
You have had a rich vein of form with ball and bat. You're up there with the wickets, you're up there with the runs. What can we expect from Dylan Douglas in the final this afternoon?
Score 15 in the last game, still looking for a bigger score than that. With the ball, I coming on a bit still, but I'm still looking for a big score and I want to get more runs still.
Where do you get the self-belief from?
It's within me. It's within me.
All right, there we go. Dylan Douglas and Kaveem Hodge, they are members of the Soufriere Hikers who are into the championship game. Believe you me, it's going to be a cracker.
And Alonso Romelu, we see the passion that is there, the excitement that is there on Dylan's face. Hodge will want to continue because he really picked some form coming into the latter end of this tournament. They will be the ones that the burden will be rest on.
Yes, good afternoon again to our viewers. And when Kaveem Hodge, he's a Windward Islands bowler. As from our vantage point here, we can see him warming up on the field. He's a Windward Islands player, the Windward Islands vice captain, very experienced cricketer. And he had that blinder for a run out yesterday. Excellent feeling. And he's known as well as one of the better fieldsmen, not just in Dominica or the Windwards, but in the Caribbean. And he would want to put in some type of performance here that would be memorable and would probably help to drag his team over the line. And Dylan, you remember his performance was excellent in the last tournament, and he has backed it up with another good tournament this time around. But he'd want to go one step further than the last time and lift the trophy.
Jeremy Lane and is one of the leading wicket taker for the Southern Breakers. Sunil Ambrose been the leading run scorer. They will really be looking to get an all-round performance this time, no matter if Sunil goes early or Jeremy Lane doesn't take a wicket. The team in itself has really played some little cameos and put the Southern Breakers in this final position where they are today.
Look, these two teams in the finals, the Hikers and the Southern Breakers, to me they have been the most balanced team throughout the tournament. Balanced in the form of their bowling, their batting and their fielding. Yes, Sunil Ambrose has the most runs, and it would be important for Southern Breakers for Sunil Ambrose to get going and to bat deep into the innings. But they do have a lot of players who have a lot of pedigree behind them. John, the all-rounder John, he's a good hitter. He is primarily a bowler, but in this format, this T10 format, his skill set will become vitally important to them. So too is Dylan Johnson, known primarily for his bowling prowess, but in this format again, his hitting ability will become vital for them. Now, I know a lot of people haven't seen the wealth of batting the Southern Breakers have, because when you look at Jeremy Lane, yes, he has the most wickets, but locally here, he is known to be more of a batsman than a bowler. So they do have a good array of batsmen to depend on, but Sunil Ambrose is definitely the key, and judging from how the bowling has been going, Jeremy Lane will play a very important role if the Southern Breakers are to come out victorious.
Well, Roxell also, he caught up with Ricardo Williams and Jeremy Lane, and they had this to say earlier on.
Championship moment. This is the moment you've been waiting for, the final afternoon of VPL 2.0, sponsored by Dream 11. We're getting ready for the championship game. We have with us Ricardo Williams and Jeremy Lane from the Southern Breakers. We're going to start with Ricardo. Ricardo, there's a saying, heavy is the head that wear the crown. Is this true for the Southern Breakers at this stage?
Yes, that's true. Southern Breakers, we are the defending champion, and we are here to defend our crown again.
Are you ready to defend the crown?
We're ready. We're ready.
All right, you had a pretty good innings the last couple of games. What can we expect from Ricardo in this final championship match in about half an hour time?
Well, the same from the last game. I'm just going to continue from that and put my team in a good position, and we go out there and defend it if we have to bat first, right?
There we go. Jeremy Lane, how important is it for young talent like yourself to do well in a tournament like this?
Well, it is very important, to be honest, so we can market ourselves, so the world can see that St. Vincent has talent, young talent, so it is good for all of us. I mean, players like myself, Dylan Douglas and others who have been performing. it's very important that we get a look outside of St. Vincent. It's a good opportunity.
Okay, question, most wickets or to retain the championship? Which of the two would you choose?
2 in a row. It's a very easy answer. And if at the end I have most wickets, then I'm thankful. But the main goal is to defend our championship. That's what we came for.
Ricardo Williams, Jeremy Lane, definitely two of the players that would be on show in the championship game starting at 1 p.m. Do not miss it.
And Alanson, Jeremy Lane is not, as Rommel earlier on alluded to, much of a bowler, but he has put his hands up, knowing that there is the experience of Dylan Johnson there.
Yes, he has bowled well within himself throughout the tournament thus far, and he has taken 13 wickets to be joint at the top of the table with Dylan Douglas, and he has acquitted himself exemplarily, and he would want to make sure that he backs that up in the final.
Well, it is important to see how it goes here, because we have to go down to the task where Roxelle have the two captains and the match referee.
Well, viewers, this is what we've been waiting for. Match day 15, the championship match of edition 2, VPL sponsored by Dream 11. And this match brings together the defending champions, Salt Pond Breakers, against last year's runners-up, the Soufriere Hikers. Captain Sunil Ambrose and Captain Desmond Maloney, they are here. Sunil has the coin and he is going to effect the toss. Tails the call. And match referee Selwyn Allen is going to confirm. It is heads. That means the defending champions, Salt Pond Breakers, they have won the toss. Sunil, what's your plan for today?
We are going to have a bowl. I mean, it seems to be a very good wicket. I don't think it would change much. So we're going to look to restrict them for a lowest possible total and go and make it in the back end.
Any pressure going into this game as defending champions?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, it's just another game of cricket for me, try and play smart and intelligent cricket.
Who do you have in your unit today to make this possible 2 in a row, according to Jeremy Lane?
I have 13 lions in my team, and everybody is capable of winning a game for me, so I can't say I would single out anybody. Everyone is a match winner.
Any changes from your last encounter?
No, we are playing the same team.
All the best, Sunil, and congratulations on reaching the final once again.
Thank you.
Desron, the toss didn't go your way, but you are going to... you have been asked to set a target first. Does that go with terms your plans earlier?
Well, the toss is always a give and take. We were actually looking to bowl first and restrict them, but given that we have to bat first, then we have to just put a total on the board. It's always a good sign, when they've won up most of the games batting first, putting runs on the board, and today he won the toss and chose the bowl, so that's actually a good sign for us coming into this final. Well, your batting has come to the party in the last 3-4 games to complement your bowlers. Looking to do much of the same today? Yeah, we're just looking to continue on the same merit that we've been playing over the last week. Any changes to your unit that was in the game yesterday? No, we're playing the same team today. Well, all the best. Again, congratulations on reaching the second consecutive final, and I'm sure you and your unit are looking forward to go one better this year. Yeah, thank you, sir. There we have it. The Sunil Ambrose-led Salt Pond Breakers. They have won the toss. They have decided to ask the Soufriere Hikers to set a target. They are going to chase that target, the defending champions. So it's all up now to the Soufriere Hikers to set a target, and we'll see what comes out of that later on this afternoon when the defending champions must get that total. Championship day, championship afternoon. Who's going to win? Your call is as good as mine.
Romel, Salt Pond Breakers, they have won the toss. They decide to bowl on a track that is somewhat fast bowler's paradise, we would say. The captain alluded to restricting the Soufriere Hikers to a total. And how do you see this going into this game?
Well, when you look at the games the Soufriere Hikers have won thus far, they prefer to chase. I think the captain and most of the players, they believe that their batting is their strong point. So that is why you heard Desmond Maloney saying that had he won the toss, he would have fielded first. So they prefer to chase. And Sunil Ambrose knows this, right? And he has gone against what he himself is accustomed doing, because ordinarily Sunil would have batted first. But given that this is a final, and given the opponent, he has opted to bowl first. I don't think the pitch is going to change much. Haven't played on it this morning. It's a bit sticky, but the sun is out in all its glory. So I think it will remain consistent throughout, and we should be in for a nice game.
And Alanson, the Soufriere Hikers, they have to be up for anything, whether it was the bowling force or, well, they're in a batting position now. What do you think should be the mindset going into this as a total at a final like this?
Well, runs on the board in the final is always important, and they have to make sure that they get in excess of 100 runs. Do not aim too high, but of course if the runs are coming, then you aim as high as you can. But do not start off with the mindset that, we need to get 140, 130 runs, 150 runs, because you may end up falling far short of that. So you aim for 100, and if you could get 110 or 120 in the final, the runs are on the board, you pick up all the wickets, you will put pressure on the opposition. Just looking so far at the stats for the tournament. Sunil Ambrose has 298 runs at 42.57. He has the most runs for the tournament. Dylan Douglas has 262 runs at 43.67. These two batsmen are coming into this game, as almost as the two form players for their sides, and a lot will depend on how they play. Although Captain Maloney has gotten some form recently for the Hikers. Also looking at the bowling stat, we mentioned Jeremy Lane. He has taken 13 wickets. So too has Dylan Douglas, but Johnson as well has taken 11. So you see, both teams really, if you're looking at the stats, they have individuals who are at the top of the run scoring and the wicket taking statistics for the tournament thus far. And no wonder that they're in the finals, because you have persons who have put their hand up throughout the tournament.
Well, gentlemen, this is the finals of the VPL GM11 T10. We're going to a short container break, Continuous Delight break. We will be back and to give you more flavor, more vibes, live from the Adamsville playing field here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Don't go too far, because as soon as we're back, we have live action for you.
Top few explorers, the Grenadines divers, 4 Charlotte strikers. Somebody celebrate your team. Last team hikers, the Salpam breakers, Botanic Garden Rangers. It's from the bleachers we would see. VPL is more flavor, more vibes. VPL that bring the stadium alive. VPL, this is the joy of we life. It's the Vincy Premier League. Top few explorers, the Grenadines divers, 4 Charlotte strikers. Somebody celebrate your team. Last team hikers, the Salpam breakers, Botanic Garden Rangers. It's from the bleachers we would see. VPL is more flavor, more vibes. VPL that bring the stadium alive. VPL, this is the joy of we life. It's the Vincy Premier League.
Welcome back to the Annsville playing field where we have the finals of the VPL Dream 11 to 10 competition. It is the Soufriere Hikers. They will take the first start at the wicket. They will be playing the Sarpan Breakers, eagerly anticipating a hot day because it is steamy hot. It's somewhat over 35 degrees, it feels like to me. It's scorching hot out there, but I'm sitting in the capacity of some AC, and we still have Romel, we still have Alonso with us. Gents, what do you take?
Well, you might be correct in saying that it feels like 35, but it wouldn't be 35. It wouldn't be that hot in our part of the world, but it's a warm day, a lovely day for cricket, and we are eagerly anticipating this final.
Well, a lot is going to depend on how the power play goes, because I think that sets the tone, and that so the Hikers, of course, would be looking to get off to a flyer. Knowing Salvan Brown, he's going to try his very best. He's not going to waste too much time. As well, the Sarpan Breakers would, of course, be looking to restrict them for as much as possible. I think they bowled a lot better. Well, Dillon Johnson specifically bowled a lot better to Salvan in the last game they played against each other. He pitched the ball up. He had looked for movement. He didn't try to bowl short, because every time he bowled short to Salvan got the better of him. And I think they have learned from their previous games. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. They have to be disciplined. They have to be consistent. Now is the finals. They have played quite a number of games, so they're not stale by any stretch of the imagination. So everybody should be in tip-top form, raring to go, looking to dive, looking to run quickly. So beautiful game ahead.
Well, raring to go is umpire Byam and umpire Butler. They are the standing umpires in this game. Salvan Brown and Desmond Maloney, the opening pair that we somewhat accustomed to for the Soufriere Hikers. Alanson.
Yes, this is a positive move by the captain. I think it really just shows that the fact that he's in form, as opposed to last time around when he was lacking a bit of confidence and he pushed himself down the order. But he's opening. He's now in the top 10 for run scorers after having a very slow start. And they would want to get their team off to an exemplary start here, because we know that if they have a good start, then they would be able to build on that later. But if they lose early wickets, and that is what the Sarpan Breakers will want to happen, then they will be under severe pressure.
Well, there's a short third man, there's a point, there's a cover point, sort of extra cover, long on, we're seeing mid off. Right, mid off, long on, mid wicket, short fine and a deep square. And they are the fielders that we have. And guys, the VPL has really reached to the curtains now. When we pull the curtains down, it was full of excitement, some real development. We saw some emerging players who have really put their hands up when we didn't expect. The overseas players, they came to the party at some crucial time for their teams. Well, we're about to get the first ball on its way as umpire Byam. Yes, as umpire Byam will signal our get-go. Expecting some quality drone shots from the ITFX camera crew. And here we go. So, dot ball to start, Alanson.
Yes, that one was pitching around Midland leg stump and paid calmly to the man at short mid wicket there, O'Neill Thomas. No chance of a run, especially to Thomas, one of the quicker fieldsmen. And that's a good start there by Dillon Johnson. Good line, good length so far.
Another dot ball, Romel. Do you see that creeping of pressure could come in the first over?
Not yet really, but Dillon Johnson has to curb his enthusiasm, and normally he likes to test whoever batsman he's bowling into with a short delivery, but he really has to curb he has done so well so far. He really has to curb his enthusiasm, keep the ball up. He did that the last game against the Hikers and got good success for it.
It's coming around the wicket. This one's played out to the man at deep square, and they are off with the run chase, one without loss, and Salvan also, he's off the mark, brings Maloney into strike.
Yes, the field is an interesting one. You have the deep square out and the man at the long on position, which means that he wants to have the option of going short if needed. And see, he's asking Pope at deep square leg to come a little bit further behind square. So just a slight adjustment to the field. One more fielder coming on to the onside, so it's now a 5-4 field with 5 on the on, 4 on the off. And so he's looking to bowl as straight as possible, not wanting to give Maloney any width.
Well, it's a dead ball. And Romel, do you see the little bit of what we'll call butterfly in the stomach in the finals here? Good running.
Well, I read an article some time ago where Tendulkar said that almost every time he went to bat, he felt a bit nervous. I think that's something that is natural for any batsman, regardless of the kind of cricket that you're playing. It's healthy. It's healthy nervousness, as I would say. It's not that you're going to freeze or you're going to get, too nervous that you can't play your shots. But the anticipation, the eagerness, the want of wanting to perform, that gets you going, so it's healthy.
Healthy is this one over the short mid wicket, goes out to the boundary, and they clean up from the player that is running around from the deep square, and they come back for the second. That's Pope doing the cleaning up on that mid wicket boundary, and Salvan, he moves on to 3. The last of the Hikers, there are 4. We're into over number. We're into the first over. So,
interestingly, here he has Pope a little bit straighter for Salvan, and he has him a little bit squarer for Maloney. That's on the square leg region, and so it must be some slight adjustment based on what they know about each player.
Well, that concludes the first over. Quiet overs to what we are accustomed to, and in no means no disrespect to the bowler, but a good over to start the Southern Breakers, restricting the Soufriere Hikers to 4 without loss in the first over.
Yeah, that was really an excellent over for Dylan Johnson. I think he has learned over the last couple of games that they have played, because ordinarily you would see Dylan Johnson experimenting quite a bit at the very top. In this over, he kept it simple. He bowled within himself. He noticed what deliveries were being kept to singles, so he continued on that line, and that is how he ought to bowl going forward, because at the end of the day, this T10 kind of cricket demands for dot balls, because the batsmen are always going to come at you. They're the ones who are going to look to create chances. So it's incumbent on every bowler really to aim for those dot deliveries and allow the batsmen to make mistakes. It's not like Test cricket where you have to plan and bowl different lines to try to get the batsmen out. This is 10-10 cricket, so bowl dot balls, concentrate, you pick a good line, concentrate on that line, and don't veer off too much from how you're bowling.
Well, that brings John into the attack. Asking for a deep square instead of that, for the square leg fielder to come more a square position. Wow. That delivery, Salvan was halfway into down the track, scampering through for 1, but Maloney assessing the bounce. That one struck him a bit high on the pad, and he wasn't up for 1.
Yes, looking at that last delivery, it's around where John would want to be, and you could see there's still a little bit about a settling that the pair wants to do at the crease, because there's a little bit of miscommunication there, as Brown ran down up on Maloney, but fortunately for the Hikers, they are both still at the wicket.
Down the ground, a bit of timing on that. Not a lot of timing as Maloney would have liked. There are 2 dot balls again to start over number 2, and they are still 4 without loss. The thing to note is that Salvan and Maloney, they can up the tempo, unlike teams like Botanical Gardens and the Grenadine Divers, where if they do not start on a high, they cannot catch through that momentum. Swing. And remember, we see that Maloney not getting the room that John is not providing the room for Maloney to hit that ball, and he now trying to manufacture room for himself. Just can't get over that ball.
Yeah, it's extremely disciplined bowling thus far by the 2 pacers. Dylan Johnson bowling excellent over, I thought. John is following up here. They seem to be bowling within themselves, and that's important. You don't want to get too over exuberant, I should say. Keep it as simple as possible.
Wide down the left side.
So he was experimenting with a short delivery there, looking to tuck the batsman up based on the line of the short one. Ended up being a wide down the left side as he owed a little bit in his line. As Roman said, they are trying to be as disciplined as possible in the first few overs to heat the pressure on the batsmen, because they will know that they need to get a good score in order to defend it against the Salpan breakers. And so if they can restrict them and subdue them in the first few overs, it will cause them to have to take a few risks later on.
A shot, cut away, out to the point, boundary, 4 runs. A welcome National Lottery treat the boundary of the bat of Salvan.
Yeah, that's a good shot by Salvan, and he has to be the one, in my opinion, to take or to drive the Hikers home. He's going to be the aggressive one. Maloney has to take a bit of time, because he normally does that to get himself in, because he's that important of a player. Someone has to take the mantle to attack the bowling. Yes, 4 runs came off the over. Well, the run rate is 4, but you have to get a decent total. To defend. You have to give your bowlers something to work with. So Brown has to be that one to push it for the Hikers.
Oh, this one is struck in the helmet. Short delivery. Oh, and in doing so, Salvan is almost run out. A delivery that is struck into the helmet, signal leg by, and just a bit of trick of the helmet there from.
Well, Kaznel, that was excellent feeling by Dylan Johnson on a 3rd man. He realized that Salvan was, and you could see the replay as it went cut off there for a bit. But as Salvan was struck on the helmet, he was concerned about his helmet and his own well-being during that delivery. And he was only ambling down to the striker's end, and Dylan Johnson down at 3rd man noticed that. And if he had been on target with his throw, he may have had Salvan back in the pavilion for his team, the Salpan Breakers. Well, so he'll get some treatment, and maybe they will change that equipment, as that was quite a solid blow on the helmet.
I think the concussion protocol being used just for safety of the batsman, and they will make sure that he's well. Some treatment, and it's a quiet start. 11 without loss. Salvan Brown, he's on 7 from 7. Maloney, he's on 1 from 4. A current run rate of 6. As we see, this is the finals of the Dream 11 VPL cricket tournament here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we're really anticipating a good finals here. Hot sun, I must mention, and the wind is blowing, but boy oh boy, the wind is in no comparison to the hot sun that we have here at Lansing.
Well, it's a welcome relief, after some of the days that we have had in the past of rain. So we are well pleased with this weather, and we are thankful. I'm sure all of us are thankful that we don't have to come again tomorrow for another game.
Well, we see that Brown has been given an all clear by the medical personnel, so he's ready for battle. He's that type of character. He's not easily fazed by adversities of this nature. So Maloney comes on strike. John still to continue. Just one more delivery remaining for the second over. And Romel, as a batsman yourself, how do you feel intimidated when you see deliveries like this being bowled? Down the left side.
Well, this is the finals, Cassie. So Salvan just got hit. Yes, ordinarily a batter, because he was hit pretty flush on the helmet. Ordinarily a batter would have gone out, but Salvan, recognizing his importance to the team, decided to stay and bat. But they need not to worry so much, because we have seen throughout the competition that one over can make a difference. You just need an over with 25 runs.
Maloney cuts this one down to third man. Johnson cleans it up, so it's end of the over. End of the second over, it's 13 without loss. Maloney on 2 and Brown on 7. It's 6.5 runs per over. Boy, we are in here for some good treat of cricket, because the rationale of the game is that the Soufriere hikers, they would not want to be in the second position again, Alance, as we have been always saying. And the Salpan breakers, they want to have that power of rain in going into this at 2.0.
Yes, they would want to start to build a little dynasty, the Salpan breakers, and of course the hikers would want to stop them in their tracks as far as the defense of their title is concerned. But so far these breakers would be pleased with the scoring rate, but they would want to take a wicket.
Talking about wicket, this one is high and hard in the air. Sunil comes under it, he drops it, that it was evading him. He had to do a lot of running, and he's dropped. Maloney is dropped. A high catch that orbited the arena, and he was dropped there. A delivery that keep going away, and we talk about the wind as he was running, that ball keep going away from him. Kind of difficult catch that was.
Yeah, it was always going to be a difficult catch, because the wind, as you mentioned, is blowing across the field. It would have taken the ball away from Sunil, and those sort of catches, any day, night, whether or not there was wind, they're always very difficult. So I wasn't too surprised that Sunil dropped that. He never really got close enough to it, in any case.
Maloney this time heaved it over mid-wicket. 6 runs. Well, we start to see the super sixes coming.
Yes, that's a very good shot there by Maloney, and you could hear the crowd. The excitement has built here at the Arnesville Sports Complex, and this is what we want to see: more flavor, more vibes. As we have a super 6 there from Maloney, and you could hear those in the crowd who are either enthusiastic about the hikers or they don't want to see more runs, and you could hear the vibes and the flavor there, Kaznell.
Well, the DJ, he's really kicking it up. So to Maloney just started kicking it up, and I think that Joan will be in some serious danger if Maloney starts to play like this. Boy, Dillon has to get it right, and that's the reason why I think captain has brought him for his second over, is to see if he can get a wicket somewhat. Maloney swings hard into the president's suite. The personnel there, well, it's on the roof of the president's suite and back onto the playing field. 6 more to Maloney.
Yeah, that was really a beautiful shot by Maloney. He took off his helmet as if he was saying to us, hey, I'm fed up of this, I'm going to fight fire with fire. This is the finals, I'm the captain, I'm going to lead the way. And he played 2 beautiful shots. But more than that, Dylan Johnson really has to say to himself, forget about the short ball, it's not working for me. The pitch is not fast enough to assist me. Go back to the lengths that he had in the first over. Look to pitch the ball up. If he gets hit with those deliveries, then so be it. But look, bowl a more test line. Look to get Desron out. The short deliveries, they have not worked throughout the tournament for him. And he's not as fast as he used to be, but he is still a cunning bowler, so he needs to bowl to his strength. Look to get Desron out by hitting the stumps all the time. That is what he needs to do.
Well, there have been some change into the field. This one is dropped it and scampered through for one. Run out to the end of Maloney. So they scampered through for one. It brings the total to 28 without loss. We're into over number 3. And just an over and 2 balls before the power play. Alanson. Exciting cricket so far.
Yes, it's more flavor and more vibes, definitely. And we are looking here, and Romel, prior to the previous delivery, said that Dylan needs to make the adjustment and make sure that he's bowling on that good line and length. And he did that on that previous delivery. And that's around the area that he needs to be more often than not.
Salvan goes straight down the ground, and we will wait on the confirmation of the umpire. A super 6, another super 6 to the Soufriere Hikers. Boy, oh boy, the party has started just on the playing field.
Yes, that was a cracking shot by Salvan, and earlier in his innings, and that's why it's important to, when he gets early wickets, because earlier in his innings, that same delivery, he was looking quite uncomfortable to that length. As Romel mentioned before, when he's early in his innings, of course, he prefers the ball to be short from that pace of bowling. And there he was going through the line, very nice shot straight down the ground.
This time he heaved that one over mid-wicket. Another super 6. Boy, in a hot sunny condition, it is raining 6s here.
Has Dylan lost the plot just a little bit, or is it just good batting?
That was a magnificent batting here. Because at the end of the day, you can say it was a bad ball, but as a batter, you have to be able to put it away, and it did so magnificently well. But this strengthens the point I was trying to make earlier on. The first over, 4 runs came off of it. The second over, they were 13 runs, I think. Now they are 40 without loss at the end of the third over. So you need never to really worry. As long as you have wickets in hand, and you are known to be the top batsman for your team, one of the top batsmen for the team, just give yourself time. The runs will come. Inevitably, the bowlers are going to bowl bad balls.
Well, some 27 of that over brings up the 306. As we see a change of ball, we see Harry. He comes into the attack for the last over of the power play. Well, this could be close. A miss run out there. Well, a bit of indecision there by Maloney and Salvan. Excitement all over this ground.
Yeah, it's all happening here at the Arnesville Sports Complex. Definitely more flavor and more vibes. If keeper Sween had struck the stumps at the non-strikers end, then they would have had a wicket there. They would have seen the back of Captain Maloney, as Salvan was quickly trying to get onto the strikers end to get to face Javid.
A full delivery, pulled away over square, 6 more. He poses for the cameras here from the ITFX camera crew, and boy, that one was deposited. 6 more, 47 without loss. We are into over number 4 and 301 6 so far in the tournament, Romel.
Yeah, that was an excellent shot by Brown. Yes, it was a full toss, but at the end of the day, you have to be capable enough to put it away, and Brown did so magnificently well.
A rarity of a delivery, diamond delivery, a dot ball.
Yes, it's another one. That's a good recovery here so far by Javid. after being struck of the full delivery in the first delivery of his over. So he wants to make sure that he keeps that line and that length. Force Salvan to take on the risk to get the runs, because he will be definitely looking to finish the power play high here on a high.
This one is cut away past the man at cover and goes out to the cover boundary. That's 4 more to Brown. Brown moves on to 29 from 13, brings up the 50 for the Soufriere Hikers. They are 51 without loss.
Yeah, this is really looking dangerous. This is looking dangerous for the Saltpond Breakers. 51 without loss, 1 ball left in the power play. Dylan Douglas left to bat. Kavim Hodge. And the form Dylan Douglas has been in, if he continues with that form, we can imagine that the Saltpond Breakers might be looking to get in excess of 120 or 130 even. But they are going good guns here, the Soufriere Hikers. They would want to continue it. A lot of the times you find the fielders who are in the circle on the boundary, not on the boundary, on the edge of the circle, giving the easy single. So that should augur good for them. If a good ball is bowled, they don't need to take too much risk. Just hit the single and continue with the fast run rate.
Yes, so that's the end of the power play. Brown is on 29 of 14, Maloney on 18 of 10. And we have had 4 overs so far from the bowlers of the Saltpond Breakers, as we see a small conference between the new bowler, who is Jeremy Lane, and his skipper, Ambrose Johnson, none for 31, that second over going for all of 27 runs, I believe. And John, 1 over, none for 7. Harry, 1 over, none for 11. So the Saltpond Breakers, they will be aiming to peg back the scoring here of this belligerent opening batting pair for the Soufriere Hikers. And he has brought on his trump card, who is Jeremy Lane, who has taken 13 wickets so far for the tournament, the joint most. And his captain will be hoping that he can maintain his wicket-taking prowess and his wicket-taking form as he comes on to bowl to Salvan Brown.
He's dropped him. Pear drops the catch. The first delivery. Salvan is dropped. Boy, how costly can this be? Pear, a very good fielder by what we know of, but this one he was coming in and been doing so. Well, he's dropped that one.
Yes, sometimes you see some persons when they're running in to take a catch like that they do a little jump just to level the eyes, because at that speed running in, it can lead to your eyes being...
Maloney down the ground. The PM is under some threat here. That one goes for 6. Well, we are seeing that the Prime Minister is passing across, but that was delivery. Well, dropping short of him. He has no interest in that ball, but boy, he was in some immortal danger there.
Yes, I was well struck by Captain Maloney, and as he went over the long on fielder. That one was a little full and over pitched there from Lane. So you don't want to pull his length back just that little bit to ensure that he doesn't give Maloney the opportunity to go freely through the line, as he did on that particular delivery, taking his score on to 24 of 11 deliveries.
Well, in a marshalling of troops here.
Well, I was just given some statistics there by the statistician. And Maloney was dropped at 2.2. The score was 15. And Salvan Brown was dropped in 4.1. The score was 53. Well, the batsmen, they're taking full advantage thus far. I like the way they're playing. They seem to be playing brave cricket, and that's how you have to play.
Swing hard, coming down to the tournament boundary. Great save there by Harry. And he's run out. A tremendous save. And boy, oh boy, something spectacular has to happen. And it's all happening here because it's more flavor, more vibes. Malone is run out, attempting maybe the second run. And he goes, well boy, The Soufriere Hikers have lost their first wicket, and they have Maloney going back to the players' pavilion, while Dylan Douglas comes to the crease. They are 59-1.
As we see the replay, it stops just short of the action that we wanted to see. But that's a vital wicket taken there by the Saltpond Breakers. Harry must be commended. He's not the youngest on the field, and he must be commended there for his effort down at third man. He came around very sharply. He dove to the ground and cut off that one just inside, and he fired a return in straight to keeper swing and effected the run out. So that was excellent work there by Harry, as he has sent the very destructive and dangerous Desron Maloney back to the pavilion.
Yeah, I think Desron Maloney played a beautiful innings. Yes, they started off slowly, but he picked up nicely, and you see he was really in the mood, and he would be very, very disappointed to have been adjudged run out there. Of course, the umpire was in the best position to decide that, but Dylan Douglas is in now. He would want to turn over the strike to Brown, who has been going quite nicely.
Well, Jeremy Lane, wide delivery, confirmed by umpire Byam. Well, it's all happening here with more flavor, more vibes, as we have promised you, and we're executing. It's a GM11 to 10 competition, VPL to 10, and it's sponsored by the Cricket Association here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the camera shots you're getting are from the ITFX SVG camera crew. They're really doing a fantastic job here. This one wide outside the yard stump, confirm wide again, and we see this point now. It appears that he wants to bowl a wide length to Dylan, not reaching to his arc.
Yes, he's looking to keep that one wide outside the off stump, especially early in his innings when he's not set as yet, and asking him to go and fetch it, and hoping that he will get him to make the error and be dismissed outside the off stump.
Drive down the ground. Oh, that one. Well, they're back for two. Somewhat was kicked across by Johnson to the fielder in a sliding effort.
Yeah, that was an excellent effort by Dylan Johnson. Always known to be a very good fielder, a very good catcher of the deliveries. He does have big hands, mind you, so it should be a lot easier for him than it would be for the ordinary player.
Well, this one is whipped to mid-wicket. Sunil Ambrose patrols that boundary area. And how do you foresee, Romel, Brown playing after this power play? Do he continue the role of go-get runs kind of?
Well, we're almost at the halfway stage. 5 overs has almost been bowled. Brown, knowing Brown, he's not going to slow down. He's just going to go for broke. He's not going to stop.
Well, this one down the ground, going for one. Dylan, well, he could be run out. He is run out. And I was just going to say, Brown not been the fastest with Dylan. Boy, another run out for the Soufriere Hikers.
Yeah, that was really an injudicious call by Douglas there. When you're running between the wickets, you really have to consider the other batsman. Yes, you may be able to make it, but you have to consider, hey, is the other batsman in the prime position to get back down to the other end? And I don't think Dylan Douglas really assessed the situation well. Yes, you're looking for quick runs. He is a quick player, but he had to consider Salvin Brown. He's not as fleet-footed as he used to be. He's in his 30s, still going strong, but not as fast, not nearly as fast as Dylan Douglas. Had he been running with Hodge, then maybe yes. So, 2 down.
That brings Hodge to the crease, Nancy.
Yes, Hodge, his job will be here most likely to face the remaining overs and to bat through with his team, and Douglas will have to continue to be the aggressor. As mentioned by Romel, both of them are very fleet-footed, so they should be able to convert some ones into twos. But again, as we mentioned before, 2 wickets via the run-out route, and we are saying here that on that second one, really, that Douglas should have considered the pace of his partner, and of course not being similar to his. in this case, or the age not being similar to his as well.
Well, it now brings Captain Ambrose into the bowling attack. Ambrose. Dylan whips this one to mid-wicket region. Pair comes around, fumbles, but cannot capitalize on it. And as you see, a stern warning being given there by Ambrose. Remember, what do you think might be that warning? Don't misfield my ball, please.
just friendly banter, I'm sure. Saying keep your eyes on it, son.
Okay, well, you have to do that. And do you think that the sun will play a somewhat of a problem there because he's not wearing a shades or anything? Wide delivery, looking to drive. And many of these players will know Dylan. He's not more of an offside kind of player. He's more the onside player. Once he's on the leg going towards. This one, he whipped it in the air, over the top, over mid-wicket region. Somewhat of a slow ball, but it had much flight on it, and then it was treated with disdain. A welcome Super 6.
Well, Rommel might be very familiar with those deliveries. Sunil is known for bowling them, just like his dad. And he actually dismissed Rommel off one of them in the last tournament. But that one was a little too full, so it allowed Hodge a free swing of the arms.
Loud appeal there, and there we have it, a strategic timeout at the end of the over. We have a strategic timeout at this time. Yes. This is a timeout. And so not out is that call, and yes. So we will have a quick strategic timeout here. It's a posse timeout. And gents, what do you think of 6 over 73 for 2? Dylan is there, Hodge is still there.
Well, first of all, I think the last Soufriere hikers would be pleased considering the start of their power play in 0 for 4 and then 0 for 13 at the end of the second over. They're 73 for 2, current run rate being 12.17, 4 overs remaining, which is 24 legal deliveries. They'll be happy that Douglas is still at the wicket. They'll of course be disappointed with the 2 run-outs that happened. Didn't need to happen though, but nonetheless that is how cricket is played. The Saltburn Breakers, they should be happy for this strategic timeout. That gives them enough time to regroup and recalibrate, if you will, and decide how best to go forward and restrict the hikers for a manageable score.
And Alonso, yes, and the restriction, strategic talking, strategic planning for batting. Dylan and Hodge is really fresh out of the hut. They will still have the message from the coach and the managerial staff. What do you think their role should be now?
Well, you actually, from our vantage point, we could see that Coach Warwickon actually came out to have a little chat with them, along with the 2 senior batsmen who have just been run out. And they would definitely have in mind what target they want to get to from here. They would have preferred to still have the 2 opening batsmen at the crease so that they could keep going all guns blazing. But they would just refocus just a little bit from where they were prior to the fall of those 2 wickets. But they're still going at a very high run rate of 12.17. And so they may be thinking in the region of 120 as a minimum from here on. But they will still be looking to get as many as they can, because the Salt Pan Breakers batting lineup is not a batting lineup to be frowned upon.
Well, that brings us to the end of the Posse Rum Punch and Nut strategic timeout. We see that the Harry, he will take up at the attack from the administrative center end. And we can gladly see that the Prime Minister made it across to the President's suite without being in that danger from those Super 6 anymore.
Yes, but I'm sure Dylan Douglas, who is also one of his constituents, may still want to hit the deliveries over the boundary in those directions to see how many runs he can get for his team here as Harry bowls to him.
Well, ready for battle here. This is GM11 VPL 10 cricket competition here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. With the hot sun, it's taking a toll on the players. See Dylan's. It will be interesting to see what's a call for a total here in the next 24 balls. Romel, do you see a 120, 125?
Well, at a minimum, they should aim for 120. They all know the prowess of the Salt Pan Breakers. As long as Senna Lambris gets going, he looks to bat deep more often than not, and he has done so throughout the tournament. So they would feel 120 would be a minimum at this stage.
So it's struck on the pad. Alan, so do you think at this time Dylan is trying to create too much of a pressure on himself? We know he's a freestyle kind of player, and he's trying to improvise a lot of shots instead of playing regular cricket shots.
Yes, he should try to keep it simple for the moment, because batting with Kavim, there's a possibility that they could turn a lot of singles into twos. So there is no reason for him to go out of the ordinary just yet. They're in the 7th over, and they would want to push on and make sure that the two of them are still batting leading into the last 2 overs.
A lot of viewers that are locked on the live. Hodge looking to swing that one over mid-wicket region.
Well, Harry has bowled 3 beautiful deliveries thus far. He's cramping the batsman for room.
This time it's too short, pulled away behind fine leg, and that goes for a Super 6 confirmed there by umpire Bayam. A welcome Super 6 there, 80 for 2. We're into over number 7.
Yeah, he was just guilty of dragging it a bit too far down leg. But the idea is good. Forced or cramped the batsman for room. He was successful for the previous 3 deliveries.
This one. Well, a ricochet from the stumps, and this camper for 2, as we see 2 by signal there by umpire Bayam, as the keeper finds himself in some discomfort there.
Yes, that one seemed to have struck keeper Sween as it beat the batsman there, Hodge, between his bat and pad as he was attempting to loft this one down the ground. And it seems as if it has struck him close to the knee, which is something worrying, because that's an area that you can sustain some serious damage. And hopefully for the Salt Pan Breakers, the damage is not too debilitating, so that it restricts him too much, so that he cannot don the gloves. Of course, we know that Ambrose is also a wicket keeper, although he'd want to bowl his 2nd over of his bowling spell, but he's also a wicket keeper. And so if push comes to shove, that may be the route that they may take.
Well, there's been a lot of innings break, and this is a slight injury break. As we see, it's a good packed crowd here. We will see at the Adamsville playing field, and it's a Dream 11 VPL T10 cricket finals here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have the Soufriere Hikers taking on the Salt Pan Breakers, and this time they're 82 for 2 The loss of the wickets, Maloney and Salvan Brown to the run-out route. They really catapult a very good total, set a base now for what will be somewhat of a 120, 125 as we are speculating from our standpoint here. Current run rate of 11.71, and our viewers around the world, we really thank you for viewing the ITFX SVG team, production team. They are doing a very good job. Visit 3, the Cricket Association here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Containers Delight, and all who is on board. And we see a number of spectators really out in their shorts because you don't want to wear nothing too hot since it's hot here. And boy, it's exciting cricket here. We have Douglas at the crease, he's 5 from 6. Something of a rarity with the strike rate. We don't normally see where balls overtake him. So, this is Ambrose. Into the left side, they go for 1. This could be 2. They're looking for 2, yes. 2 it is. Completes the second run. And as you rightly said, Lance, they will turn a lot of 1s into 2. Just tucked it right there. The fielders are on the rope. And they're putting that added pressure on the fielders.
Yes, they are rapid between the wickets, these two. Even Pope, who is maybe one of the best fieldsmen in the tournament and in the country, wasn't able to prevent the 2 there.
Well, scoop to short fine leg. And they run you for 1. Romel, do you see in big games like this that Dillon takes himself away from his original cricket and try to give his team that higher total than the base that has been set already? I'm gonna miss.
Well, I don't think he's playing differently than how he has played throughout the tournament. I think Sunil Ambrose is bowling a very decent line. Dillon Douglas, I believe once he stays there, he will get acclimatized to the wicket, and I'm sure you're going to see some 6s from him, providing he stays at the wicket.
Wide down the leg side. They done tidy stuff by the captain. He's somewhat flustered with himself. The wide now confirmed. An extra delivery to be bowled. 88 for 2. Just on 12 runs per over. Cut away to the onside, a misfield. So this carries up the total by 2 more. Loud appeal for run out, not out, says umpire Bayam. A close one by some recollection, but Hodge very quick between the wickets.
Yes, he's rapid. At one point, he looked to be in danger there because the throw was a pretty flat and hard one from the fielder there. It seems like John from the point boundary, but he covered the ground in a very short time.
Well, 90 for 2. We're into over number 8. This is on the stroke, high and hard over the top of mid wicket. Oh boy! Well, Whitish mid on that is sorry, and that goes a super 6, 96 for 2. While we are looking down a barrel for 130.
Well, Romel, Hodge, it seems like he's coming to the party in the final. His team would have wanted him to do so earlier in the tournament, but maybe it might be the right time for them, the Hikers.
Yeah, Hodge seems to be very exuberant. He's signaling to his other teammates in the dugout. He say, "Yeah, I'm feeling it." Yeah, so he's in the mood. I'm happy to see that. He hasn't really lit the tournament on fire thus far with his bat. He has done reasonably well with the ball, but we all know what he can do. He is, after all, a first-class player, a good prospect for West Indies in the future. So it's good to see him scoring some runs here. It's his final. Now is the best time to come to the party, really. And as long as himself and Douglas, they stay at the wicket, I can see the Southampton Breakers having to score a total in excess of 120. There are 2 overs remaining. John will look to get those Yorkers in, of course. And we all know that Lane would bowl the last over. He has done so pretty well throughout the tournament. But these are 2 set batsmen. Anything can happen.
So the penultimate over will be bowled by Ryan John. 97 for 2. Good time to have Hodge and Douglas at the crease. Slower delivery down the ground. It could be taken. Oh, he has to throw it back in. Well, he's scampering through all over. Well, the umpire now confirms a 6. I believe his foot may have touched the rope or may have just got it back in time before he got rid of it. And the umpire confirms it's a 6. Brings up the 100. It's 103 for 2. Alan, some of the excitement there.
Yes, definitely. As we look at the replay here, as we see Johnson coming around. Oh, and it's just out of shot where his foot was. But he may have felt it on his foot at that time when he was in possession of the catch. And tried to get rid of it at that point.
Great shot down to third man. 1. And it was a slow ball, and Hodge waited on it and gave it the treatment that it deserved.
And with that one, we didn't see any of the 6 that was called by the umpire, any protest from Johnson. So he must have known that he was in contact at some point with the rope there. As we look at the replay again, his feet are just outside of the camera shot. This time he gets another opportunity and he will take this one.
Well, it's a no ball. It's a no ball by John. It's one of those cardinal sin. Well, boy, oh boy, oh boy, isn't it happening here with more favor, more vibes all on the playing field? Didn't we promise you that? And we are delivering a no ball by John, and it's a free hit at this time. And well, Hodge is on strike for this no ball, for this free hit, sorry.
And you could see Hodge, Ala Dwayne Bravo and Kyron Pollard so many years ago in the Champions League, dancing to the music while they're at the crease.
Capitalize. Throw swings into the square leg region, mid-wicket region. 1, oh, sloppy piece of work, but it did not cost him. 107 for 2. We're into over number 9, halfway into over number 9. Hodge on 29. Dylan is on 9 of the quiet side. He will want to join this party because the music is pumping. Slower ball struck down the ground. Formally could go for 4. 4 it is. It's a national lottery treaty boundary. Well, in despondency, Ryan John is asking what could have gone wrong there. As we see 4 runs, 111 for 2. Good going by the Soufriere Hikers.
Well, Sonny was a bit wide there at long on, and you could see John now gesturing that the deep fielders should take a few steps to their left on the onside because he would have thought that based on the line that it was hit, that the long on may have been able to come around, but Sonny was actually quite squarer than usual.
It was another slow ball from the back of the hand there from John. This one struck down the ground. He got some hand to it, so it slows it down to get 1. 1 more over to end of 9th. 1 legitimate over remaining. 112. You could see a 120 being passed here. So we're looking at 125-ish total.
Yes, if they continue at this rate, Romel, it might be around that score.
Well, they do have 8 wickets in hand. We have 7 legal deliveries to be bowled. Keep going.
Full delivery over the rope, and that's gone for 6, a super 6. Boy, oh boy, John have been cheated with the stint, and that brings up 118 for 2, and Douglas on 14, Hodge on 35. Good going by Hodge.
Yeah, it's been excellent going. And you see, when you take a look back at when did he come in? At the fifth over when Hodge entered the wicket. He brought a bit of energy. Well, not a bit. He brought a lot of energy in terms of his running. He came to the party, and he has come to the party, and you can see the energy, the enthusiasm, the willingness to want to compete and win this tournament here. So the kudos must go to Kavim Hodge, the way he has played, especially considering that he has not really done too well with the bat so far. So lovely exhibition of hitting from Kavim Hodge and of course Douglas.
Well, Roman, is that the benefit of experience, knowing that you have been there, you have done that. So even if I'm not doing well now, I know that I can do it on the big stage.
Well, Jeremy Lane now comes into the attack to finish up what will be the 10th over and also his second. Still marshalling of troops around this arena. I don't see anything much than the ones and twos that will be had. A very disciplined young man in his bowling. He's been given the task of bowling the death overs, and comes into delivery down into the pads of Douglas. He go for one, settle with one. Good start. A bit of fluster there from Douglas.
Well, there's going to be a deliberate attempt by Jeremy Lane to target those pads, because there isn't any sweeper fielder right now. The four fielders are on the offside in the circle. Nobody's saving a boundary, but they do have all the others on the boundary on the onside.
Well, this one is whipped away out to the boundary. It's going, and a diving effort from Captain Ambrose could not have saved it. It's 123 for 2. Boy, Hodge is really putting on a show here.
Yes, and you could see his celebration. It means a lot to him. You could see his celebration after every shot. You know, he's really into it, and that one was whipped. Attempted Yorker there by Lane, but that one was whipped off his toes for 4. Lovely shot there by Kavim Hodge.
Again, he swings this one out to the mid-wicket region. It picks up Ambrose, who cleans it up and return for 1. Very competitive and compelling cricket here. 124 for 2. We're into the last over, halfway into the last over. 13.05 run rate. Douglas on 15, Hodge on 40. This one is high and hard. It's coming out to us here. Could it be taken? Oh, just over the head of Ricardo Williams, who is just feeling there. And it evades him. Another 6. 130 up. Boy, we are seeing 6s here galore.
That was a very good shot by Dylan Douglas. He gave himself a bit of room, anticipating the line that Jeremy would have bowled. And he was able to hit it over mid-off. Excellent shot by Douglas.
Well, Jeremy Lane whipped away to the mid-wicket region. They go for 1. Ambrose is the fielder. They would not want to take on the arm of Ambrose. Hodge wants to clean up the innings legitimately with the last delivery that is remaining. I'm sure he would want maximum from this, as he's on 40. Douglas on 22. 131. Can we see 135 being surpassed?
Well, it's definitely possible, since there's one delivery left, and if they get that, they will feel very confident of defending that stroke. But they're by no means.
This time Hodge goes down the ground. It could be taken. Johnson comes around and he takes the catch. The innings of Hodge comes to a close. The innings also comes to a close. 131 for 3. Boy, oh boy. Jeremy Lane takes another wicket to his wicket column, and Douglas, he's not out on 22. 131. Get respectable total.
Yes, it's a very good total in a final. It's a very good total in 2020s generally, in T10, sorry. And Salvan Brown made 31 off 16 deliveries. Maloney 25 off 12. They both were run out by John in terms of Brown, and by Harry in terms of Maloney. Douglas not out on 22 of 14. Hodge, a very good innings in the context of what has gone for him thus far in the tournament. 40 of 19, he was caught off the last delivery by Johnson of the bowling of Lane. 131 for 3.
And remember, the bowling was not too bad, but it is a game where it's finals, and the Soufriere Hikers, they will go helter-skelter.
Yeah, firstly, I think it was an excellent effort by the batters, as Cruikshank mentioned. The Soufriere Hikers, I believe, we had asked them at the start of their innings if they would have taken 131. I'm sure they would have gladly said yes. Now, when you look at the bowling for Salt and Breakers, I think they started very well, the first 2 overs at least. Drop catches, I think, hurt them, and they hurt them badly. The batsmen, I should give credit, Brown and Maloney, they decided to themselves that, hey, we're not going to be perturbed or disturbed by any chances we get. We're going to play free and fearless cricket. And they were successful in doing that. Ordinarily, well, it's a bit surprising to see 131 come off the bowling of the Salt and Breakers, because throughout the tournament, really, they have been the team to restrict a lot of the other teams. Their planning has always been good, but things just fell apart a little bit. You saw John bowling a no ball, a cardinal sin there. You saw 1 or 2 overthrows. Yeah, so it was a bit something that they were not accustomed to see from the other teams. So really, kudos must go to the Soufriere Hikers. They really have come to the party, and they have come to the party in a big way. It's really going to be challenging for the Salt and Breakers. A lot, of course, will depend on the bat of Sonny Lambris. They do have the firepower in which to take over the Soufriere Hikers. Now, and look at the Soufriere Hikers bowling. They don't have the strongest bowling unit. They are heavily dependent on spin, so this is important that the spinners get their lines and lengths correct. It's easier for them, of course, to control how they bowl. You're not going to see a lot of no balls, if any at all, from them. So the extras ought to be limited. So it really is incumbent upon the batsmen of the Salt and Breakers to take this game home.
Well, we're going to take a quick Continental Delight break, innings break here. We will be back shortly for you with the run chase of the Soufriere Hikers bowling, and the Salt and Breakers, they will need some 132 for victory. And remember, this is the VPL Dream 11 Cricket T10 competition coming to you live from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We will be back to you shortly. Don't go away.
Few explorers, the Grenadines divers, 4 Charlotte strikers. Somebody celebrate your team. Soufriere Hikers, the Salt and Breakers, Botanic Garden Rangers. It's from the bleachers we would see. VPL is more flavor, more vibes. VPL that bring the stadium alive. VPL, this is the joy of we life. It's the Vincy Premier League. The few explorers, the grenadines divers, 4 charlotte strikers. Somebody celebrate your team. Last team hikers, the start bomb breakers, Botanic Garden Rangers. It's from the bleachers we would see. VPL is more flavor, more vibes. VPL that bring the stadium alive. VPL, this is the joy of we life. It's the Vincy Premier League. A few explorers, the grenadines divers, 4 charlotte strikers. Somebody celebrate your team. Last team hikers, the start bomb breakers, Botanic Garden Rangers. It's from the bleachers we would see. VPL is more flavor, more vibes. VPL that bring the stadium alive. VPL, this is the joy of we life. It's the Vincy Premier League. A few explorers, the grenadines divers, 4 charlotte strikers. Somebody celebrate your team. Last team hikers, the start bomb breakers, Botanic Garden Rangers. It's from the bleachers we would see. VPL is more flavor, more vibes. VPL that bring the stadium alive. VPL, this is the joy of we life. It's the Vincy Premier League. A few explorers, the grenadiers divers, 4 charlotte strikers. Somebody celebrate your team. La Soufriere hikers, the Salpan breakers, Botanic Garden Rangers. It's from the bleachers we would see. VPL is more flavor, more vibes. VPL that bring the stadium alive. VPL, this is the joy of we life. It's the Vincy Premier League.
Welcome back to the Adamson playing field. Boy, I don't know, but it's excitement here all over this playing field. It is a final. It is the second leg of the final where we see the Salpan Breakers. They are now in their inning stride to reach a total of 132. Boy, how do you call it, Alanson? How do you call it, Romel? We still have you all here.
Well, I'm still hoping for a close match. Of course, what the scoreboard pressure is there. It's a big score. But the Salpan Breakers, they are still in the game. Could see that they have made a change to their batting order. The destructive Ricardo Williams has been asked to open the batting with his captain, Sunil Ambrose. So, I mean, I'm hoping for maybe a 1-run victory for either side so that we'd have some excitement. Romel is saying he's hoping for a super over. Romel.
Yeah, 131 by the La Soufriere hikers. I certainly did not expect that much, to be honest. But it's a good total. It's a good challenging total for the Salpan Breakers to make. Well, as Cruikshank said, they've changed their batting lineup. Sunil Ambrose is with Ricardo Williams. Ricardo Williams has done pretty well throughout the tournament. He seems to be a natural player, natural hitter of the ball, almost in the vein of Powell or Bravo on his heyday, but a lovely player for the future. Well, it's Sunil Ambrose versus Kavim Hodge, first-class teammates.
Well, Hodge, first delivery fit to short for a leg, is trying to scamper you for one, and Straw, who may be on as a substitute for Dylan, he feels that one. Just a start, quiet start. Sunil goes through the mid wicket. Oh, what a catch! What a spectacular catch! It cannot be mastered anywhere else in this competition. What a time to get Sunil. It only takes the Snyder Camp could have taken that catch.
Well, to be honest, I have been told here by our scorer that he also plays basketball, and it seems as if he was going up for the slam dunk there. And he was airborne, and he had a lot of ups, as they would say, in that spot. And he remained there with hang time as well, and stayed there, and he just plucked it out of the air, but not sure. And, you know, in one of the games earlier in the tournament, he was the zero because he had a few feeling foibles. But in this game, he's the hero.
Well, Romel.
Well, I tell you what, the Salpan Breakers, they have to be feeling nervous because Sunil Ambrose throughout the tournament has been their talisman. He has gone off the second delivery of Kavim Hodges over. So a lot of pressure, a lot of scoreboard pressure. John is entering now. He's batting a 3. He is the all-rounder that was drafted from Grenada. He's pretty destructive himself. So a lot is going to depend on how John goes from here and how Ricardo goes from here. Of course, they have to get a start. They have to get a base. They don't want to go helter-skelter and lose another quick wicket. Right? So they have to play themselves in. You have to remember as well that when La Soufriere hikers took to the wicket, their first over only yielded 4 runs.
Well, Hodge into John. Tucked it into the onside, they get 1. And John is off the mark. But we cannot stop to see how brilliant of a catch that it was, somewhat of a goalkeeper save, and those are the catches we will see win matches.
Yes, it was a catch that reminded me of one that Paul Collingwood took of Matthew Hayden at point, diving like a goalkeeper over the top, and that was really a brilliant catch. You'll pay your money to come, and persons who have paid their money, if they go home now, they cannot say that they owe the Cricket Association owes them any money at all after that piece of action.
Good ball in there by Hodge, and Hodge knows that Cavo will like that ball in his arc. He's more ball in the middle and leg line. Cavo also, he wants to play careful because he's in the power play, seeing that his captain has just gone. He would not want to play a loose shot. He's got him! At Judge LBW, a bit of Keswick Williams celebration in that one. Salt Pan Breakers, they are in desperate trouble now.
Yes, that's Keswick Williams, almost a mixture of a cross between Keswick Williams and the opening batsman there, Shikadan. Almost a tie slap. Yeah, and that is another big wicket there for the Hikers. And they're really on a roll at this time as the dangerous Ricardo Williams is dismissed. LBW to Hodge as the new batsman is Lewis coming in there.
Romel, pressure.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure there for the Saltburn Breakers, having lost Sonny Lambris and now Carver Williams. And the over is not yet done. You could see the fall of another wicket here. His tail is up. He batted extremely well in the first innings, so he should be feeling confident. He is a confident young man, of course. His lines and lengths, they have been impeccable. He's targeting the pads of the batters. He's cramping them for room. He's making life very difficult for the batsmen.
My goodness me. Well, it's trouble here for the Saltburn Breakers, and boy oh boy, isn't the Soufriere Hikers of our statisticians, he's getting on with a frenzy in the back as you see the fall of the wickets going down. Boy, it is mayhem here and carnage. Problems, and the Saltburn Breakers, they have to rebuild and rebuild quickly.
Yes, it would be good to see them mount a recovery here in this game, because we still could have an exciting finish. It's not impossible, it's not all the woods, and it would be good for the spectacle and the viewership that we have both in person here at the Arnesville Sports Complex and online and on the various viewing platforms.
Well, I alluded to the spectators are coming into the standstill. There is still room for a lot more because an interesting run trace is on. And boy, target is 132, and we're into over number 2. So there is some cricket left to play. Romel, you will not call it as yet.
But it's obviously leaning towards Soufriere Hikers, and it's leaning heavily towards them. But this is 10-10 cricket. John is a prodigious player, hitter of the ball as well. So they should just go for it. They have no choice. It's the finals.
Oh, delivery. Lewis comes into the attack, and the first delivery forced up that pressure again. So you're seeing the pressure now puts John in a condition where he has to be careful and do not play loose shot. We are still in the power play. This time he swings past the man at midfield there by square leg fielder. It goes out to the boundary. It now comes of 4 runs to John. A welcome boundary, and 5 for 2, Alanson.
Yes, it's their first boundary of the innings, and they would want to see many more to get their runs going. Remember that the Soufriere Hikers, that they were just about at a similar score at a similar point. After 2 overs, they had only 13. So it's not out of the realm of possibility by any means.
We're not in the wicket column at that time.
Well, they'd have to keep the wickets in hand while they go all guns blazing.
Right. And Captain Maloney will be feeling so confident. He has the stage set for what could be his first VPL title. This time John whips it in the air. Could be taken. A man comes around from the mid-wicket region. John goes. And my goodness me, the salt pan seems to extract the salt, and they are now freshwater pond.
Yeah. They're no longer the salt and breakers, as you put it. But that was a big hit. That was a big blow to the salt and breakers. Two new batsmen are going to be at the crease in the form of LaShawn Lewis. Ernell Thomas, we see, is coming to the crease. Both of them, they haven't really lit the tournament on fire with their bat. They were heavily dependent on the three batsmen who are now in the dugout. So it's a lot to ask. It's really a lot to ask from young Ernell and young LaShawn Lewis. LaShawn Lewis, I saw him in the 2020 tournament. He made a half century against my team. He batted quite well. He would need some luck here, because in this sort of cricket you need luck. So yeah, but he has to go here. I have to say to yourself as a batter, yes, we have lost 3 wickets, but we have to get 133. You can't get 133 by thinking about the loss of wickets. You can't get there by playing fearful cricket. You have to just go. Have confidence in yourself.
Well, go is the call from Romel. I really see that Thomas now comes to the crease. 2 batsmen that are on naught. They haven't gone off the total as yet. And we're into over number 2. Here we go. Down the ground. Can't pass Stapleton. So end of the second over, something we could not imagine would have been here in the scoreboard. It's 5 for 3.
Yes, 5 for 3 after 2 overs here. And the salt pan breakers, it seems as if you said you have gone into some desalination, Morris, because you said that they're removing the salt. But they are in some dire straits here at the Arnisville Sports Complex. And it would take really a miracle to get them back into this game, having lost 3 of their premier batsmen in the competition thus far.
Well, it will be Hodge again. Will come into the attack to complete his second over, and Thomas will be facing up. Salt pan breakers really need an extra bit of salt in that pan. Boy, is it the Ovia salt pan or the Brighton salt pan? Well, first delivery pushed back to Hodge, no run. Can we see that the pressure builds on these 2 batsmen that will cause them to make false shots? Oh, loud appeal. Not outside umpire Bayam. Thomas looking to flick that one.
It may have come off the bottom of the bat and past the keeper, as he was attempting to go straight with that one, Thomas. But the pressure is really heaping up here. The run rate that is required is a massive one. And they really need to get going here if they are to stand a chance of getting these runs.
Sun is hot. Let's flick that one into the other side. Boy, oh boy, the Dream 11 VPL T10. The last of the hikers say that they're not going to live a trophy for second place. They're really showing contention here for as a finalist. This one is cut past it. Well, cannot pass the 2 diving fielders. Great save there, and they have saved 4. Sure bet save 4. It's now 8 for 3. If you have just joined us and you're just turning on whatever device you're watching us from, the total that you're seeing there, yes, it's correct. It's 8 for 3. We're into over number 3.
Well, singles are just not going to cut it. We are in the power play. I keep harping this. Yes, you have lost wicket, but you have a total in which to get. Either you get on with the job, or you give somebody else a chance to do it.
Sacrificial wicket, Romel. Oh, swing and a miss. A French cut this time. Coming out to the final leg boundary. Sure makes a feel. And two more to the total.
I won't say it's not a sacrificial wicket. It's just, you know the nature of the game. You know what score you have to get as a team. So you have to be brave. You have to take risk. You can't allow the bowler to just bowl deliveries after deliveries and you're just satisfied with one. You have to take risks. You have to use the crease. You back away or you go over to the offside. The current run rate is 3.67.
I see the PM is there enjoying the cricket. I'm not sure if he will be in any position to back a team per se. He may have somebody who wants to win, but at the end of the day, he have to be neutral somewhat. And I believe that the last Soufriere hikers, they will be in the position now to really want to. This one is cut away. Pennington Simpson puts a foot there, misfield, and it goes for 4. Lewis strikes 4, brings the total to 15 for 3. 15 for 3 in over number 4.
Yes, and I don't like what I saw there from Benetton. Not because your team is in the ascendancy that you make a lackluster effort at feeling that ball at mid-off. Sent his foot for that instead of diving on the ball or trying to at least attempt to stop it with his hands. And that's not good enough from Benetton on that occasion. Needs to
drive down the ground. A tremendous shot by Lewis, a shot of class. 4 more runs to the total, brings the total to 19 for 3. Romel, that is something you may want to see.
Well, at the end of the 4th over, the last Soufriere hikers, they were about 40-something, 47. Yeah, at this stage. They're 19, the Saltpond Breakers. They need a lot more. And they have to keep going, they have to keep hitting.
Well, outside the Aston, cut and miss. Lewis on 10 from 9. Thomas on 4. It makes me wonder who will be the pick bowler that it will look to target. Well, look at this. That would have been not out, says the umpire.
Well, in this situation, you can't pick a bowler. Everybody has to go, really. Because each bowler is allowed 2 wickets, 2 overs, as long as you're going to bowl 5 bowlers. So you don't have the luxury of selecting a bowler in which to beat. The fielders are on the edge of the circle. So they are singles and offer if you bowl a good delivery. But the first thing is to look for a boundary.
Well, short delivery, missed out on that shot. Looking to pull it over square. End of the over number 4, end of the power play, 19 for 3.
Yes, Ambrose was dismissed without scoring. So too was Ricardo Williams. Both of them dismissed by Hodge. And John was dismissed for 5 deliveries. Seemed to be caught in 2 minds with that shot. If he had gone through with the shot as powerful as he is, it may have cleared the man at the deep mid-wicket boundary. And Lewis is currently not out on 10 of 11 deliveries, and Onel Thomas on 4 deliveries. 19 for 3 after the power play, after 4 overs here.
Well, I know I've been harping about the batting, but a lot of credit must go to the bowling of the last Soufriere hikers. I thought Hodge bowled exceptionally well at the front, and he was ably backed up by Lewis. They concentrated on the lines on line. There was a clear plan on how to bowl to Sonny Lambris and Carver Williams, and they executed it brilliantly. Of course, they would have been buoyed by the fact that they just scored 131 runs. Any team would have been happy and raring to go. So they're doing well, and they deserve to be where they are, given how they've played thus far.
Well, we see Benetton Stapleton coming into the attack. Not something strange you will see. And he will come from the administrative centre end. Ball to Thomas. Struck it out to point. Good 2 for 1.
Yes, I agree with Romel. You have nothing to lose here as a batsman, and you really have to try to grab the ball by the horns and see how many you can get. even if your team doesn't get over the line, you could come off at the end of the day saying, well, I gave it a good shot. I gave it my best, and I could only have done that, which is my best.
Well, the best will be required here of Lewis.
So some changes in the field. There's the third man is brought a little finer.
Oh, swing and a miss. It's something that Lewis will be fancy, that mid-wicket region. And Bennington Stapleton, he knows Lewis a lot. He will know what delivery, what line and length to bowl to Lewis. They both played for North Leeward. And Bennington will play for Rosal most times. And Lewis will play for Chumuka. So they will know at what areas not to bowl to each other. Well, in this case. Top delivery, pushing to the onside, go for one. One is the only figure they could get with that delivery. Remember, they really need more than one.
Yeah, well, this required run rate, I believe, is hovering around 20. That would mean you have to hit at least 6 fours and over, or there. Well, 6 fours gives you 24. But yeah, singles are just not going to cut it. You really have to do or die here.
Well, this time Thomas goes down the ground, high and hard. Dylan comes around for the catch. Catch is taken. The Southern Breakers loses their 4th wicket. They're 21 for 4. We're into over number 5.
The writing is really on the wall now. Is really on the wall. O'Neill Thomas, he had no choice. He had to go. He had to do something. So the writing is really on the wall. The players for the Soufriere Hikers, they're dancing around. They can smell the victory. So they should be happy. I saw them at the end of the innings. They were dancing, even though the Soufriere Breakers hadn't started their innings as yet. So you could have seen what a total of 131 meant for them. They were confident at the very start. But Dylan Johnson is about to enter. You know what he's about. He's not going to monkey himself around. He's going to try to get it or get out.
Well, our friends all over this world is tweeting and messaging. What is it that the Soufriere Breakers is doing? You know, they need to lift the momentum. Somebody need to come with a cameo. And friends in Antigua, in Jamaica, Trinidad, in the south, they're all locked on. Bermuda, they're all locked on. In London, in Canada. So viewership is not something great guns and those in India. Fan code fans, those on YouTube, those on ITFX, and locally here our viewers in St. Vincent. As we see DeLon Johnson comes to the crease, and Lewis is still there. Some 111 runs required from 32 ball. Somewhere in cricket, I do not foresee a possibility, but this is it in the air. Could be taken. Well, Hodge is under it. Hodge takes the catch, and boy, oh boy, Bennington Stapleton, he's on a hot chick. Well, the Soufriere Breakers really losing the breakage on the pond, and the waters are seeping out.
Yep, you're perfectly right. The waters really are seeping out. I don't think they have a pond anymore. They have a gutter. There's some sprinkling on it, but they really don't have a pond anymore. The Soufriere Hikers, they're really taking advantage. Everything is going right for them. Everything is going right. Everything that they touch has turned to gold. Hodge is having a phenomenal game. There's a brilliant catch, mind you. He had to look back, he had to look over his shoulder. Well judged. The wind is always a factor here at Annisvale. Brilliant cricket all around. Kavim Hodge.
Well, I see the Soufriere hikers, they're dancing, and so to the dancing girls, they get the party going. And boy, can the Soufriere hikers dance their way through this, Alance?
Well, the Soufriere hikers throughout the tournament, they have been looking for a performance such as this one. Thankfully for them, it seems that they have saved the best for last. And so this is almost a perfect game from them thus far. Their fielding effort, their batting effort, and so far their bowling effort have all been of the highest class.
Well, Bennett and Stapleton, he's on a hat trick. Can we see a hat trick here for Stapleton? It's 21 for 5, the Salt Pan Breakers. Short delivery, pull away, could be taken. Oh, dropping short, have the mid-wicket fielder. And they got you for one. A good delivery, a good option for the wicket group. So it brings us to the end of the 5th over. It's 22 for 5. Yes, the Salt Pan Breakers is 22 for 5. If you're just joining us and you're saying, okay, the Salt Pan should be at 100 and something for 2. No, they're 22 for 5. Johnson is at the crease for 1. Pope is not off the mark as yet. They require some 110 runs from 30 deliveries.
Yes, 22 for 5 after 5 overs. And we see a change in bowling as Jeremy Haywood is going to come on from the southern end to bowl his off breaks. He'll be bowling to Dylan Johnson. And at this time, they require another 110 runs of 30 deliveries. Another 110 runs of 30 deliveries. What is required with there? 22 per over. That's a lot for 5 overs. 22 per over. I mean, you could get 22 in a few overs, you know. You could get the odd over here of 22, but to get 5 consecutive 20-plus overs, it's very difficult. Well, but not impossible, Kasdan.
Not impossible, but it seemed impossible that first delivery.
It's very difficult. Well, but not impossible, Kasdan.
Not impossible, but it seemed impossible that first delivery from Haywood, wide of Johnson. He swing and miss. So there are 3 fielders patrolling the leg side boundary as Johnson swing and miss again.
But they are going to keep this line to Johnson because we know him here in the local level to be to have an inclination for the leg side, so to speak.
Swing and miss again. Wide this time.
Haywood, I'm sure, wouldn't mind that wide. He just has to keep it wide of Johnson because anything close to him, he's going to go for it. It may look surprising with a straighter one, but most of the delivery should be wide of the stump.
Swing and miss again. I'm sure he's not a frequent caller because he will get a lot of missed calls.
Well, a lot of missed calls, you said.
A lot of missed calls. Swing this time out to mid-wicket. He gets connection, a perfect connection this time, and it goes over the mid-wicket region. A super 6. That is the arc that you do not want to get him in.
Yes, it's either he misses it out there or he hits it for 6, and that is what he's looking for at this point. He's looking to hit every delivery for 6, and with they're requiring over 20 runs, 20 plus runs and over. It is exactly what is needed. So can he succeed? It will be a miracle here if that happens.
Swings down the ground. Lewis comes around. 1. So.
Well, the Soufriere hikers, they have already painted the wall. They're just waiting on it to dry now. I think it's going to dry within the next couple of deliveries, really. The way how they've been going.
This one swings and misses at the end of the over as the umpire signal now for the strategic timeout. At the end of the 6th over, strategic timeout. Going into strategic timeout, do you think there is any strategy here? The Salt Pan Breakers will need to have
Well, this will be their strategy. Hit every ball for 6. This will have to be their strategy because they're really staring on the barrel here. As I mentioned on my previous comment that this Soufriere hikers would have been hoping for a performance like this somewhere in the tournament. And unfortunately for them, it has come in the final. I think they have played by far their best game overall in all facets in the tournament, in the final. That doesn't always happen for you as a team. And they will be very happy that it has happened for them in the final today.
Well, when you look at how they started, they didn't start out the best. I think they had lost about 3 games or so, and they just got that momentum going. Their captain Desmond Maloney was struggling a bit for runs. Dylan Douglas was the one that was carrying the batting. Then Desmond Maloney, he started to hit the ball and he started to get going, and they just started a winning streak. Winning is a habit, and that's what they developed. So when I saw the semi-final game that they played, I said to myself, hey, this team is really going to challenge the Saltpan Breakers, because I saw the way they were playing. Their attitude was right, everything was on peak, and Maloney was doing an excellent job as a captain. Not to say that the other captains didn't do a good job, because I think Sonny Lambris by far has been the most aggressive, the most shrewd captain in the tournament. But the way the all-round game of the Soufriere Hikers, it was impressive because they started out in a bad way, and they were able to pull themselves together, and now they're reaping all the rewards.
And I think if I want to pinpoint, and Romel, I will want to concur with you on your comments, and if I want to pinpoint one moment in the tournament that may have changed the fortunes for them, so to speak, is when their captain started making runs. And it seems, because earlier in the tournament he was lacking runs, he was lacking a bit of form, a bit of confidence, and it seemed to have rubbed off on his team. They were quite low. They had not much intensity in the games, and they seemed to lack confidence. But once the captain started getting runs, it seemed to pervade throughout the team, where all of them now, the confidence came. And you could look at the performance today. It's really a top-notch performance by them. We have to give credit to whom credit is due. And they have been excellent in the field. They batted extremely well, and they deserve to be in this position now, where the Saltpan Breakers are 30 for 5.
Well, that brings us to the end of the Posse Rum Punch and Not Strategic Timeout, and we see that Dylan Douglas now, he comes into the attack at 30 for 5. The Saltpan Breakers requiring some 102 from 24 balls. We're into the 7th over. Boy, this will take some hitting, and these balls have to go out of the stadium here on. Dylan goes Johnson. Duck ball, something that you would not want at this time. Do you fancy that there could be a chance of winning here? Oh, he's bowled him! Bowled him! As we see the trademark celebration there from Dylan. Johnson goes looking to heave that one over mid-wicket, only doing so of getting his leg stump ball. Johnson goes 30 for 6.
Well, we're entering into the realm of the impossibility now with that wicket. So it's highly improbable wicket. So it's highly improbable that the Saltpan Breakers could win from here. But kudos must be given to the way Dylan Douglas bowled that delivery. Ordinarily, the spinners we have seen thus far, they bowl at a flat trajectory. And Dylan Douglas, knowing what Dylan Johnson was expecting, slowed the delivery up. And it worked pretty well for him. I think he's high up in the leaderboard in terms of wickets. I know he's very high up in the leaderboard in terms of runs. So he should be one of the players that is out front in terms of the most valuable player of the tournament. So he should be ecstatic.
Yes, and that brings Sween to the wicket, Kaznan.
Cian Sween comes to the wicket at 30 for 6 in into over number 7. Well, boy, it will require a lot of Sween as Dylan Douglas, he starts his celebration, and we will see what Sween has to do here. Right away, Sween goes out to cover. First delivery, 6 runs. It appears as if Sween was batting all the time from since yesterday. And boy, first delivery, 6.
That is a class shot there by Cian Sween. Inside out over extra cover all the way for 6. Alan Marlon, Samuels, or Carl Llewellyn and Hooper. And that one was a very good shot there. And he looked to continue in the same vein.
Well, Short of a lane, pull away behind square. It goes one bounce into the boundary. It's no nonsense mood here for Sween. 10 from 2.
Dylan Douglas is guilty of trying a bit too much things here. I looked at his hand when he bowled that delivery. It would appear as though he tried to bowl a leg break. But he need not to do that. He has to just concentrate on the lines and length. But given the situation that they are in, he can afford to try things. So I'm guessing that is what he's doing.
Again, short delivery, misses that one.
That one was the bouncer.
Spin bowler. Douglas, 40 for 6, yes. Sween swings at that one. Man comes off the square leg boundary, cleans it up.
Just a reminder. Yeah, and you saw him
of the 7th over, 41 for 6.
Yeah, sorry there, Kasnel. And you saw him at the end of the over. That last delivery. He got to the length where he really should be, which everybody know they're trying to hit a 6. So you want to be very full so you can get the ball under the bat. And Sween was able to dig that one out for a single.
Well, some of the spectators will be happy with the position that the Soufriere Hikers is in now, while the Southampton Breakers supporters, they will not be too happy at the same. As we see a statistician in the back there. She really cannot bring her smile back to normalcy. This one, Sween pulls it to the mid-wicket region. Total moves on to 42 for 6.
Well, it's just a matter of bowling those 17 deliveries.
This one, heave in the mid-wicket region. Well, and I feel the Soufriere Hikers played quality cricket. They did not drop their shoulders at the time when they were losing. I think the managerial coach, the managerial staff, and the coach, they really mustered the energy of the team at the time they got their first win, and when they were at a 1 point difference on the board, they actually pulled things together, and now they're in the finals looking down the barrel of a win.
Yeah, kudos must go to all involved thus far, and they will be pleased with this performance. I know they would have been smarting after their loss in last year's final, and it would be good for them that they had the opportunity to play against the same team, all right, to give themselves a chance of rebounding.
This time Thomas goes high and hard over the mid-wicket region and taken by Hodge, but not counted.
And you could see the little comic relief there by Hodge as he throws it back from well over the boundary to his fielding teammate Lewis, and the appeal for the catch, all in jest, of course. That's a super 6 to Tijon Pope.
Brings up the 50. Pope goes over point, and they go for 1. Brings Sween into the attack. 13 of 6. Some 81 required from 13 deliveries.
Yes, so it is firm in the realm of impossibility at over 36 runs per over.
This will require some muscular hitting, and that is what Sween is here for. And boy, the impossibility is not here as yet, because Sween is still at the crease. 57 for 6. Oh boy, what a super 6.
Well, they need 37.5, so unless there are some extras, even if they hit every delivery from here on for 6, it would make for exciting cricket for sure, but it wouldn't get them over the line unless there's some transgression on the fielding team in terms of wides or no balls.
Yeah, sadly the game is tapering off into a one-sided event, but we had the pleasure of witnessing some excellent batting by Hodge and Douglas and Maloney and Salvan Brown. So I'm sure in that sense the spectators would have gotten their worth, those watching here and those who are watching via Facebook or any other media app.
So Douglas comes in for the penultimate over, swings away, out to mid-wicket, 2 men converging, drop catch. It is dropped. And that field appears to be Haywood. Harry. It is.
Well, a rare blemish in the field for the Soufriere Hikers, because everything they have done thus far has turned to gold. So it's a bit surprised to see that catch dropped. But nonetheless, 74 of 11 deliveries. Everything is already plastered on the wall. Everything is already written down. The Soufriere Hikers will be this year's champion.
Swing and a miss. 58 for 6. 74 from 10 deliveries. Still. Swing down the ground. They're going through for 1. Could be run out. He's run out. He is run out. Cian Sween goes to the run out route. Dylan Douglas again with his trademark celebration. Boy, oh boy. 59 now for 7. Swing goes. 73 required from some 9 balls.
Well, I was about to say before that delivery was bold, that the run rate at 74 required from 10 balls was only 7.4, but only 7.4 per ball, not per over. So we know it's now impossible, and we could already begin to congratulate the Soufriere Hikers on being the champion, as Romel alluded to previously. And we saw the rare blemish in the previous over. That was quickly rectified by that sharp piece of work by Hackshaw, who also took that brilliant catch at square leg in the first over to effect the dismissal of Sunil Ambrose. And so, as was alluded to earlier, it seems as if they have had the Midas touch today. And everything that they are touching indeed has turned to gold, or maybe even diamond, as we have the new batsman coming in, who is Jeremy Lane, but Pope will be on strike. Tijon Pope.
Well, 58 for 7. Somewhat of a, this one is flicked off the pad, goes past the man at 5 leg. He will retrieve it just inside of the rope, and they get 2 more to the total, brings it up to 60. And no, you're not watching the President 11 score. This is the Salpan Breakers versus the Soufriere Hikers. Flicked away into the mid-wicket region again. Get 1.
So Lane will face his first delivery. Albeit now with a hopeless situation as far as victory is concerned.
$61 for 7. Oh, rarity of a stroke. The stroke of an opening batsman in a test match.
Yes, that one was flighted extremely slowly, similar to the delivery that he bowled to Dylan Johnson when Dylan needed to hit all those runs at the rate that was required. So you could see some thought has gone into Douglas's approach in this game. He was guilty in his last over of trying a little bit too many different things. Even though you may say, well, he cannot lose from this position, but you also want to make sure that as far as your personal performance is concerned, that you are making sure that you are doing your talent the best that you can do it in terms of your performance, and really seeping out every drop of talent and relating that, making that equitable with your performance on a daily basis.
Well, interestingly, Desmond Maloney, it looks as though he's going to take the ball. We haven't seen him thus far in the tournament. Why not? Why not? It's impossible for the Salpan Breakers to win at this point. So Desmond Maloney is having a bit of fun. He can bowl. He used to be a fair enough spinner and the medium pace at one point. I'm not sure what he's going to do here now. But he's certainly going to add the off spin, I've been told.
Well, this time he's been cheated in the air, swings out to Dylan, takes a catch. Maloney takes his first wicket with his first ball. So whether you're a bowler, part-time or full-time, you will get a wicket in this condition. And boy, oh boy, Lane goes at 6 Pope, it is at 61 for 8. Well, can we say it is done and dusted for the Salpan Breakers?
Well, it has already been done and dusted for quite a while now, actually. But that is another nail in the coffin. And maybe even, well, I wouldn't say it's a nail because the coffin is probably already nailed metaphorically. And probably they're just wrapping it now in a little bit of quick plastic wrap. But that was a good catch again by Douglas. He has fielded well throughout the tournament and he has bowled successfully and batted well as well. And as mentioned earlier by Romel, he is putting his hand up as one of the main contenders for the man of the tournament so far.
So Harry is the new batsman to the crease. He will have some just a short stint because some 5 balls remaining here to get 71, which is statistically impossible. But as we always say, cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties here.
Come on, Casnell, man. Come on. Talking about 71 runs, my brother, man. Come on.
Well,
even if you were playing against kindergarten players, it's impossible here.
Well, Maloney. Well, this one is, well, right away. Lane off the mark brings Harry into strike. And it will be even further embarrassing to if the Salpan Breakers is bowled out. And they would not want to be bowled out in this case. So delivery past the outside edge. Remember, we have pack entertainment coming up after this. Down the leg side, loud appeal for stump. Well, wide confirmed by the umpire, Butler. Remember, he could be stumped off a wide delivery. That's an extra to the total. So 69 required from 3. Oh, a little misfield there from Stapleton, but did not cost his team anything. And it was an exciting tournament, gentlemen. Well, this also nails it. Oh, swing and a miss. He's bowled him. Bowled him. Harry goes. Bowled by Maloney. Maloney now has 2 wickets in his column. Romel, you was not counting Maloney as a recognized bowler in terms of for the tournament so far, but he has shown his competence.
Well, I didn't quite say that he was not a recognized bowler. I did say that we know him to bowl spin and medium pace, but he just hasn't bowled in the previous games. This is first over, I believe. But from what I've seen here, from what we have seen, he certainly is worth his salt.
Well, Harry has to take that dreaded lonely walk back to the Players Pavilion as the dancing girls, they're having fun. They don't care if you have to walk alone. They will dance their way into the celebration. Gold and green and blue representing the national flag here, St. Vincent. As we see just one more ball to come to end today's play. Pear is the batsman to the crease. Some 69 runs required from 1 ball. I could safely say it is highly impossible at this point, no matter what we're playing.
I believe that you're about 4 overs too late. Or at least 3 overs too late.
Well, I do not want to lose my job.
So everybody is brought in now, Kasnem.
1 more ball to go. and they're cheering on the spectators to celebrate. Look at the field, an interesting field, 2 slips. And that here it is, the last Soufriere Hikers. They have won the second version of the VPL Dream 11 T10 cricket competition here at the Arnoldville playing field here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It has been a tournament full of downs and ups, and boy, isn't it a cricket to remember. The last Soufriere Hikers, they started out at a very low and they ended on a high. So the batting card for the Soufriere Breakers, not one that you are comfortable with, Romel.
Yeah, 63 for 9. You would not have expected it at the start of their innings, but losing Ambrose of the second delivery of their innings was really a big blow, because he throughout the tournament had been the one to really carry the mantle for the Soufriere Breakers. He was their big motivating factor. Losing as well Williams early, well, in the 4th delivery, on the 4th or 5th delivery to Hodge, that was even, well, not a bigger blow, but that was nearly as big a blow as losing Sunil Ambrose, and John we saw went early as well. So after losing 3 wickets so early, the competitiveness of it all went out the door. The last Soufriere Hikers, they never took their feet off the pedals, right? And they were comfortably able to take this game home. So kudos must go to them. They played good all-round cricket, especially in the latter half of the tournament. The Soufriere Breakers, they played brilliant cricket, I thought, throughout. It's just this one blemish in the tournament, and what a day in which to get the blemish in the finals. So the last Soufriere Hikers, congratulations to them and their captain Desmond Maloney. Their coach should be ecstatic. Well played.
Yes, well, and Alliance, the bowling is what really pinned them down, and along with some good, brilliant feeling.
Well, I think a lot of it had to do with the scoreboard pressure. You get 130 odd runs in a 10-over game, and you pick up a couple of early wickets. Then after that, all of a sudden, it becomes very difficult for all the batsmen thereafter. And Kavim Hodge and Otney Lewis ensure that they really turn the screws on the Soufriere Breakers. After they bowled 2 overs. Hodge bowled 2 overs, 2 for 7. Otney Lewis 2 overs, 1 for 12, and that was 4 overs, and you had 19 runs, 3 wickets. So that really turned the screws for the Hikers against the Breakers. And Stapleton 1 over, 2 wickets for 3 runs. Haywood 2 overs, none for 24. Douglas 2 overs, 1 for 15. And Maloney, he took 2 wickets off his solitary over for 2 runs. So again, congratulations to the last Soufriere Hikers. They are the champions of the VPL 2.0 cricket competition.
And boy, oh boy, if that wasn't exciting cricket, we don't know what else to bring you, because more flavor, more vibes was there. The players there taking a march around the playing field to congratulate and to celebrate with their spectators. They will be very happy about this win, as Dylan, I spoke with him before the match, and he said, boy, I do not want to lift a second place trophy. And here he's living the reality of winning the first place VPL Dream 11 tournament cricket competition. We will get a short break, and we will come back to you live as we go for a continuous break here at the Arnoldville playing field for the presentation ceremony.
Top few explorers, the Grenadines divers, 4 Charlotte strikers. Somebody celebrate your team. Last Soufriere Hikers, the Soufriere Breakers, Botanic Garden Rangers. It's from the bleachers we will see